Imagine being part of the less than 6% of Hispanics at a PWI. Imagine. Immediately, my heart sank through, thinking of how someone could be so cool. I feared for myself and my peers that heard many other hateful comments. In addition, hearing rumors that there were going to be people targeting those who looked like me at the vigil held at the school caused me to decide to avoid going and praying from my dorm instead. Last week, I was preparing for an important midterm. I decided to study in the study room in my building where I live and decided to join a random person and place my headphones since they are speaking very loudly on the phone. After a while of blasting music to help me concentrate, I removed them since they began to hurt my ears, and as soon as I removed them, the person spoke loudly about immigration and said many negative things that genuinely broke my heart. The student even said, "Oh, but if we were to put a bullet in the head, how would we be directed?" Hearing such violence truly taunted thoughts in my head the entire afternoon, which greatly affected me once I took my exam. The student continued to criticize the American dream that many of the hardworking and truly good immigrants come here in the first place for, and this situation just made me feel very uncomfortable. I did not say anything because I was afraid of her reaction and preferred to just step out of the room to cry. If I was afraid to speak up at that moment, and I am a U.S. citizen, I cannot imagine how many immigrants have stepped up and they have been afraid to say anything because of their status. That is why I am using my story and my voice to represent the ones who do not have one. Yes, I am nervous to express my story, but I am empowered by those who gave up everything to help their families here and in their home country. And for those who ignorantly say they should have come here legally, do you know how long the process is to come here legally for most of these people? Many who do not have the time to wait years due to medical reasons, harm, and insecurity who come here for sanctuary. It is so easy to judge someone and to say things when they have not been in their shoes. I assure you, leaving your home country where all of your families reside, where all your memories are, without knowing if you'll ever be back to see your mother or father before they die is truly a nightmare. Many would choose a different outcome, but because of their desperation to obtain more opportunities, many still choose to partake in this. I truly hope that those who think in this way understand how blessed they are to not have lived in a circumstance which causes them to migrate. Yes, for some, my words may be entering one ear and leaving out the other, but I truly hope that at least one person is genuinely listening with an open heart and imagining themselves in the shoes of many of those who are immigrants and reside in this beautiful state. I graduated at the top of my class last year in high school, and I am deciding my life to serve those in this country in the healthcare field. But that is because of my immigrant parents that I do that. I, along with many other children of immigrants, are helping combat the shortage of healthcare workers that this state needs. So before making a decision, think about the impact that this bill would have on the future of those who are children of immigrants, the future of our country. Think of how this violates the Equal Protection Clause in the Constitution and how it is a way to cover up legal way to racially profile my people. No one can look like an immigrant unless they are racially profiled, and that is exactly what you plan to do. This may seem like an easy solution to an issue, but I assure you that it will only take a matter of months before the negative effects of this are reflected on not only our state, but our country. Thank you.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
Now speaking, Giovanni Serrano, community organizer here for GLAR.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Giovanni, and today we're here opposing HB 1105. In a few more hours, many members of the community, many members of the community, GLAR, Project Out, and many organizations that have been mobilizing against HB 1105 will be submitting 6,000 petition signatures from community members across Georgia that do not support and stand against HB 1105. So this is a fight that community members have demonstrated that they do not support, and we want elected officials to take action and vote no on HB 1105. 6,000 people have signed this petition, and we also have an after-letter campaign. So if you haven't signed, send a letter to your senator. Make sure to check our social medias so you can send a letter to your senator and tell them to vote no on HB 1105. HB 1105 is currently in the Senate Public Safety Committee. It's not an agenda today, but we'll be present just to make sure in case they add it to the agenda. But we want them to know that we do not support the legislation, and the people of Georgia want this legislation to stop and die in this legislative session. So we will be submitting the 6,000 petition signatures to the Lieutenant Governor today, and just let them know that the people are against this type of legislation that incriminate the immigrant community that has given so much to the state of Georgia economically, and they haven't learned the lesson in 2011 when they passed HB 87 and how it impacted the community. We had to remind them that the immigrant community contributes so much to the economy, contributes much to the infrastructure of the state of Georgia, and we are here to stay, and we just say dignity and respect. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
La lucha sigue.
Just
Sigue.
When I say people, you say power.
People.
People.
Power. Power.
People.
Power.
People.
Power.
Power. Power. Power.
Okay. And now, finally speaking, again, is Adelina Nichols, the Executive Director of GLAR, who will be closing.
I'm going to speak in Spanish. Para todos los que nos están escuchando y que puedan alcanzar a ver este video, GLAR se levanta y condena la propuesta legislativa HB 1105. Ha sido una propuesta que ha sido puesta en el piso de la Cámara de Representantes para ser votada en la Cámara de Senado próximamente. Nosotros repudiamos estas propuestas legislativas que reflejan el racismo y la discriminación en contra de la comunidad inmigrante en general. Condenamos que las policías se presten para estar persiguiendo a la comunidad latina por solamente el perfil racial. Una vez más, condenamos también que seamos usados, ¿verdad?, por todos estos políticos que buscan enriquecer sus plataformas políticas. Nosotros no nos vamos a prestar y nosotros decimos, basta, es suficiente el maltrato que hacen para nuestras comunidades. Por favor, lo que les pedimos es que se sumen a esta campaña de peticiones donde estamos solicitando a los senadores que voten no a la propuesta de la HB 1105. Tenemos que venir todos juntos para poder echar para atrás todas estas propuestas legislativas que vienen en ataque directo a nuestra comunidad. No somos juguete, no somos pedazos de cartón que pueden venir a tratarnos como si lo fuéramos y hacer de nuestras vidas lo que se les pegue en gana por propósitos políticos. Nosotros hoy decimos no a la HB 1105, pero asimismo decimos no al 287G, decimos no al perfil racial, decimos no a todas aquellas leyes que afecten, impacten, molesten, arresten a nuestras comunidades que tanto han contribuido en este país por más de 30 años. No podemos seguir permitiendo que estas propuestas sigan caminando, que tomen el uso político de la comunidad latina. Nosotros decimos, vamos a salir, vamos a movilizar, vamos a votar en estas próximas elecciones. Firmemos nuestra campaña de peticiones para lograr y buscar que los senadores voten no. Hagan su voz sonar, participen, movilícense, vengan, infórmense, edúquense. La propuesta no ha pasado. Es importante que todos ustedes sepan que esta propuesta no ha pasado. Habla muchas cosas, hay cosas inconstitucionales que nadie explica. No crean, pero lo que sí queremos es que nos movilicemos, que nos organicemos, que participemos, que firmemos y que formemos parte de esta campaña de petición. Uno, que busquemos cómo nuestros amigos y amigas y todo aquello que tenga la capacidad y el privilegio de votar, lo haga. Esto es importante, esa manera en la que la comunidad latina también puede quitar a estos legisladores que solamente buscan beneficiarse de todo este sentimiento antiinmigrante y de nuestra comunidad más vulnerable. Nosotros decimos no a la 1105, nosotros decimos no a esta propuesta legislativa 1105. Basta ya de usar a la comunidad, basta ya de usarnos, ¿verdad? Usarnos para poder subir toda su plataforma política. No es posible. Condenamos la HB 1105, condenamos, ¿verdad?, el uso de nuestra comunidad en contra del racismo, en contra de la discriminación y el perfil racial. Súbete con nosotros, vente con GLAR, vamos a luchar, vamos a las calles, vamos a movilizar, apoya la causa. La lucha
sigue.
La lucha
Sigue.
La lucha
Sigue.
La lucha
Sigue.
No one more
Deportation.
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 La lucha
Sigue.
La lucha
Sigue.
La lucha
Sigue.
HB 1105
Vote no.
HB 1105
Vote no.
HB 1105
Vote no.
If I say justice, you say power. If I say justice,
Power. Justice.
Power.
Justice.
Power.
Justice.
Power.
Justice.
Power.
Justice. Justice.
Power, power, power.
El pueblo vive.
la lucha sigue.
El pueblo vive.
La lucha sigue.
Pueblo, pueblo, pueblo.
Power, power.
Pueblo, pueblo, pueblo.
Power, power, power.
Pueblo, pueblo, pueblo.
Power, power, power.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
HB 1105.
Vote no.
Say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Listo.